universal laws today on the live. All right, and I'm going to teach you how to manifest like this, okay? Like that, okay? It's not difficult at all. Okay, a lot of people think it's difficult. It's not. So, what are we going to talk about? How do you manifest like this, first of all? Okay, so we're going to get through the universal laws first, and then I'm going to teach you how to manifest like that, okay? Because it's a science, okay? It's a science in the way that you need to organize things first, do things in order. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. Hi, Sarah, good morning. You need to do things in order. Everything has an order. Everything in the universe is in order, has an order, okay? So when people are telling you, like, okay, you manifest this thing, it's like magic. It's like, it's not magic. It's your subconscious, okay? There is only the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. And the superconscious, for some people, is God. For some people is universe. For some people is source. For some people is Allah. For some people is Jesus Christ, okay? We're not here to tell you what to believe, okay? But we're here to tell you to believe in you. Because whatever, however you believe inside about whatever your perception is, okay? It's important that you believe in yourself. Because you can't believe, for example, okay? So religion tells us, many religions tell us that the kingdom is within. Jesus Christ told us, kingdom is within. Okay? Yet I know tons and tons of Christians that don't believe in themselves because they come to me. The majority of people that come to me, when I ask them, what is your belief system? They say Christian. I say, okay, right on. Me too. Hashtag me too. Okay? But they don't believe in themselves until we get to work, until we do the vocalization, until we do the 4 pillars: affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. And then right around the 3rd session, it starts taking, they start getting confident, they find themselves. This is why we say, find your voice, find yourself. Why is that? Because your voice, we talked about that yesterday, how your voice pulls you into the moment, away from the hypnosis. Okay, what is the hypnosis? The ideas, the advertising, okay, the mind games, all of those things, the control system. There are control systems, okay? The politics, the government, all these things you see on TV and you go, what? That kind of stuff, okay? All of these things. Bob Marley talked about it. He called it mental slavery. If you call it mental slavery, or you call it societal hypnosis, or you call it influence, or you call it whatever, okay? On a grand scale, it's mass formation psychosis. Okay, movies accomplished that. The pandemic accomplished that. The pandemic showed you exactly how everybody would fall in line. And all they had to do was keep broadcasting these things and make everybody scared. Now, at the smallest level, what is it? It's self-hypnosis. Self. Now, hypnosis doesn't mean you walk around like a zombie. No, self-hypnosis means you fix things within yourself by yourself, as you need it, as you wish. Okay? And all you need to do, okay, is organize in here. That's all. Okay, Jesus told you that the kingdom is within. Okay? And the kingdom is within. But if you don't organize that kingdom, you still have a powerful kingdom. But what? But it's not organized. It's chaotic. Things happen whenever, and then you're dodging bullets. But you think that life is happening to you like this. No, you just haven't organized it. You can have a Ferrari. You can have a Ferrari in the garage. Powerful car, right? But if you drive it in circles, if you drive it down the wrong way on a one-way street, if you drive it 100 miles an hour and the speed limit's 55, guess what? It's not operating at its maximum potential. Why? Because you're not following the rules. You're not organizing things. You're playing it by ear. Okay, I play music by ear because I didn't have a teacher when I had ADHD. I could not concentrate. I still can't concentrate. Okay? But when I pick up my guitar, I find new things and I go, "Oh, I need to remember that." Okay, so here's another thing, right? I've had so many clients with ADHD and autism. This works on all of them because they get it, right? They get it because they know they have this problem. They know their brain skips tracks, right? It's like a goldfish. If you put the goldfish in the bowl, the goldfish, there was this comedy routine, okay? That's done by, I think it was Howie Mandel. And the goldfish goes around and sees the castle. He goes, "Oh, a castle." Goes around, "Oh, a castle. Oh, a castle." Every time he sees the castle, he thinks it's something new. Why? Because the goldfish doesn't have an attention span more than 2 seconds. Okay? The goldfish also becomes conducive to his environment. Why? Because you put him in a big bowl, he grows bigger. You put him in a tiny little thing, he stays small. Okay. So this is divine intelligence at work. God is real. However you look at God. Now, if you think that God is that, white bearded man in the Sistine Chapel, that kind of thing, that's not what God is. It's not it at all. You're missing the whole thing. Why? Because you're looking out there instead of in here. Your eyes look away from the kingdom. Okay, this is not a religious life. I'm not here to discuss religion. I'm not here to talk about Satan and whatever. No, I'm here to say, if you take accountability for this, for yourself, okay? And this is not like something you should be offended over. This is something that you should be, oh, Junior's giving us the secrets here, okay? And if you organize this one, okay, it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot of effort. That's why I don't use things like self-discipline. I don't like to use that term. Okay? Because self-discipline just says that you're going to do things in repetition whether you feel like it or not. That's all. If you don't feel like it, don't do it. It's okay. It's not going to ruin everything. Like everything's not going to go away because you don't do it. Okay? But here's the secret, okay? And this is what I want to tell you. And I'm going to tell you right away because I don't want you to wait till the end of the thing and miss it. Okay? If you want to manifest like this, and I'm going to tell you a short story after I tell you this bit of information. If you want to manifest like this, all you have to do is exercise this. It's like going to the gym. Okay, you go to the gym, what do? You build your biceps, you build your, right? Your forceps, whatever, all of these things. Okay, I'm just saying, right? Biceps, triceps, hiceps, loceps, whatever, quads, everything, muscles, okay? You go to the gym, you build your muscles. You start exercising your mind, guess what happens? It's the same thing. Your mind gets sharper. Manifestation comes quicker. Let me show you. So I have 2 tablets here. Let me reach down. Oh my God, I dropped it. Okay, so this is my new one. Okay, I only have this much that I used, okay? This much. Now, this is the old one. Okay, this is the expired one. I have like 12 of these in storage. I keep them. You know why? Because when I go back and I read it, I go, whoa, I see my history, my life. Why? Because everything manifests. Okay, so the bottom line, guys, is when you work this one, okay, when you exercise it by doing affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization, it starts happening faster. Okay, let me tell you a story. So, and Jay can verify this because Jay knows about this. We talk about this. So for a long time now, right, I have a consultant firm, VMAC Consultants. You can look it up. It's a thing, VMAC Consultants in Honolulu, Hawaii. Okay, there's a website, vmacconsultants.com. We've been in existence since 2010. Okay, I own a family of service companies in Hawaii. So anyway, that's one of the companies. So for the longest time, I've been telling Jay privately, okay, I've been telling Jay that, well, okay, I want to get back into the physical world because we do everything online, okay? I want to get back into the physical world. I want to, start doing stuff with VMAC. I just don't know what to do, but it will show itself. Okay, that was the talk. I've been saying it for a long, long time, and she can verify that. Guess what happened yesterday? A meeting. Guess what the meeting was about? VMAC Consultants. It was just one decision that I made last week, and I said, well, let's have a meeting. We had the meeting yesterday. Boom. New job. Okay? So, what I'm trying to illustrate to you, and it manifested. Why? Because I was talking about it. What happens when you talk about it? Goes into your subconscious. What does your subconscious do? It tries to find ways to make it happen. It tries to create avenues to make it happen. Just keep talking about it, okay? But talk about it positively, okay? I want to find, what is it? So there's got to be something I can do to whatever. There's got to be some way to whatever. Or ask your subconscious, is there any way that I can do XYZ? Your subconscious will answer. Just the other day, I was showing Jay how the subconscious answers when you ask. Ask, believe, receive. We were in a conversation. I couldn't remember a person's name. And I said, no, I'll think of it. Okay? I'll think of it. I will think of it. That's all I said. I'll think of it. And we kept talking about whatever it is we were talking about. And then it popped into my head, and then I just spit it out. I said, okay, there, that was the name I was thinking about. And then we continued on with the conversation. Okay, so your subconscious is a record of everything you've done. It's your book of life. Okay, if you want to get really good at manifesting things, it's not magic, it's your subconscious. But this is what they call mental discipline. Okay, I don't use that term, discipline, because everybody gets turned off. Everybody goes, discipline, ugh, work, right? Okay, it is a little practice. But in less than 15 minutes a day, you can get really good at this in a short period of time. My clients change their lives in 3 to 4 months. Why is it only 3 to 4 months? Because they're human beings. When they tell you that you're the highest intelligence form on the planet, they're not kidding. Okay, whoever they are, science, whatever, when you see it out there. They're not kidding. The only thing is, right, people don't want to go through the steps to get to the good part. It's like when you plant a seed, right? When you plant a seed in your garden, you know, and you go and water it every day, right? You know, you go and check. You don't dig it up every day, do you? You don't dig it up to check and see if it's growing. No. You have faith that it's going to, right? You have faith it's going to pop up out of the ground. So you water it, you water it, you water it, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And then one day, guess what? It shows itself, right? That little sprout, right? It shows itself. It kind of comes like that, right? Because it's responding to the sun. Then what happens? Oh, then you know this is a thing. This is going on, right? Okay, so that period between when you plant the seed and that first sprout, okay, metaphorically for this process for you is 2 weeks. Can you do it for 2 weeks? If you can do affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization for 2 weeks every day, you will feel a shift. And that could be anything. I'm so happy and grateful now that I passed my test. Thank you. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have my new pair of shoes. Thank you. I'm so happy and grateful now that my mom and I are getting along. I'm so happy and grateful now that my grandfather is not sick anymore. Can you affect your grandfather's health? Sure, of course. Maybe it was something that you contributed or that you had to come to contribute to make him well. It's not like you can affect another person, okay? Because people have free will, okay? 4 pillars. There you go. Thank you, Jay. Okay? So people look at me in this chapter of my life, okay? In my 20s, my early 20s, right around 1980, 81, 82, I was sleeping on a sidewalk. There was this Japanese movie theater that showed Chinese movies. Go figure. They had Chinese kung fu movies. But it was a Japanese theater, and I was sleeping at the exit door. Was I mad at God? Was I mad at the world? No, I was having fun. I was having fun. It was a place to sleep, and I was running with some very dangerous people. And but they protected me, and later in life they came in handy. Because trust me, sometimes you need a few dangerous people. They come in handy, especially if they like you. If they don't like you, run. Anyway, I'm just trying to be funny. But anyway, no, I wasn't mad at God. I wasn't mad at anybody. I was sleeping on the sidewalk. People don't see that chapter, right? Okay. But when I was 13, so back up before that, right? I had a mentor, my first mentor, my mom's youngest brother, who put all this information in my head. Did I use it? No, it just sat there. I was 13. 13-year-olds don't use information. It just sits there because they think they know it all. They want to be independent, all of that. Teenager, right? Okay. So all the information just sat there. Okay. And finally, I started working with my uncle after I got off the street, okay, by myself, without the help of my family, without the help of anybody. Because at that point, my family didn't want to have anything to do with me. Okay. I cut my family off first. And then they didn't want to have anything to do with me. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Because I'm stubborn like that. And then my uncle puts me through this one day at a time thing. And on the third day, I go, oh, okay, it's one day at a time. And from that time on, everything went boom, 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 boom. And I was about 27 when that started. By the time I got to be on track, I was 29, 28, 29. So 27, 28, 29, those years. Boom, 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 boom. And it just kind of got better. Okay? And here's the secret. All you need to do is get to that part where things start happening for you. Okay? It could happen at 27, could happen at 19. It just depends when you make the decision. It could happen at 40 or 50. It's never too late. Never, ever too late. Okay? But there are universal laws that govern, okay, I'm going to say it again, govern, that are in charge of manifestation. Okay? This is not telling you to abandon your religion and believe in universal laws, okay? These laws work with everything that you've learned in religion. Okay? So let's take a look at the universal laws and we'll get back to manifestation. Okay, manifestation is easy. It's easy, just like the meeting I had yesterday. That meeting, I was like, whoa, okay, now here's a bunch of new contracts coming in. Okay, anyway, now, universal laws. Number one, the law of divine oneness. What do they preach in religion? Divine oneness. What does that mean? That means everyone is connected. In the Bible, when it says we're all one, it says that in the Bible. It says it in the Quran. It says it in the Bhagavad Gita. It says it in the Torah. Okay, so we are all one. How are we all one? Here, right here. You're not your body. You're not your name. You're that spirit that lives in here. Okay, you are a spirit having a physical experience. And we call that spirit awareness because you are aware. You can observe yourself. Animals don't have that. They can't do that. They just look like this. That's all they have. That's the only experience they have. All right, so the divine law of divine oneness. I'm not going to spend too much time on these laws. There's 12 of them. There's 12 divine laws. There's 12 months in a year. There's 12 disciples. Okay, disciples. Remember? If you're a Christian, you know. If you know, you know. Okay, there's 12 cranial nerves in your brain. Okay, that's a clue. Okay, 12. 12 people on the jury. You know why? It takes 12 to bring the truth to light. Light. That's the, okay? Jesus Christ said, I am the light of the world. Okay, anyway, that's just some side information. Because the reason why I tell you these things like this is so that when you hear your preacher talk in church, you're going to go, oh, that's what he's talking about. Because sometimes he doesn't know. Okay? Because they don't teach you these things in Sunday school. They have dogma that they follow, and a lot of them are just taught the superficial stuff. Okay. Number two, the law of vibration. Everything in existence is constant motion. Everything. Atoms. Everything. Desiree, good morning. Hey, Gerald, good morning. Hi, Elsa. Hi, Mike. Hey, Michael. So everything is constant motion. Everything. If you put your hand under the right microscope, you can see that everything under your skin is moving. Even your skin is moving. Okay? At the root of an atom, what is inside an atom? Energy. Do they know where that energy comes from? Not yet. Not yet. But everything in the universe is energy, okay? Law of vibration. So this is why like attracts like. It's through vibration. People always talk about, okay, like attracts like and law of attraction, but they don't talk about vibration. So like attracts like. Okay, like when you see somebody and you go, wow, I like her vibe, or wow, I like his vibe, or wow, he has a good vibration, right? Because the eyes are the mirrors of the soul, the voice is the mirror of the feelings and emotions. This is why when you hear a nice voice, right, you go, wow, she has such a nice voice. Nice voices are attractive, okay? Men, right? When they have that low voice, hey baby, what's going on? Whatever, I'm just saying, okay? I have to make this entertaining. But you're attracted to vibration, is what I'm saying. If you speak in low tones, guys, okay? Please, for crying out loud, stop going high voice for women. Okay, it's the most irritating thing to a woman. When they walk in, you go, hi, Denise. Okay, just go, hey, Denise, and watch the difference. But nobody does that, right? Because you've been taught the opposite, okay? Because you want to hit her with your vibration. Hey, Denise. Whoa, to be like that, okay? All right, that's it. A little gift from Uncle this morning. All right, law of correspondence. That's why chicks dig me, because I'm not like the other guys that go high voice. All right, so law of correspondence. This law explains patterns that repeat themselves across different levels of reality, okay? So what does this law also do? Well, it illustrates the fact that whatever happens in here happens out here, okay? So we are the microcosm, the small part of the large part, the macrocosm. We are smaller units of energy of the large unit of energy. In here, the kingdom is within. Okay? What does that mean? Well, that means that God is in us. Okay? It also means whatever you think in here gets displayed out here. Okay? You have friends that are scattered in here. You know that they're scattered in here when you walk in their house and everything's all over the place. Okay, no, there's a difference between scattered, messy, dirty, that kind of thing. That's different. Okay, some people are scattered, they're busy, things are busy out here because they're busy in here, but they're not dirty. Okay, it's not dirty, it's clean, but it's messy, it's disorganized. They're disorganized in here. Okay, if you see somebody with their car, it's all dirty and okay, they don't care about their car, right? They don't care in here. They're not caring people. Okay, and sometimes they may care for people but not material things, so you have to quantify these things. But the law of correspondence shows us that whatever they look like, how they present themselves, what they have, the kind of friends they have, this is why they say, show me your 5 closest friends, I'll tell you who you are. Because when you get in a friend group, right, like you move to a new town, make new friends, oh wow, met these people, yeah, they're really cool. Now you start using their slangs. Now you start doing things they do, right? And this just happens automatically. Why? It happens through your subconscious because you memorize these actions, especially when you think it's cool. When you think it's cool, you know, hey, yeah, I'm gonna say that. So I say things like flex. That's a modern term, flex. Okay, I use modern terminology if I like the word, if it sounds cool to me. Okay, and that's why you do it too. Okay, think about it. Okay, good morning, Iman. I hope that's how I say your name, Iman. Charity, good morning. Angel, good morning. Good morning, guys. We have a chat over here. So the law of attraction now, okay? That's the law of correspondence. Everything that's in here, and that's why you can see who people are if you know what to look for, okay? You can see who people are. You can't hide from people, okay? The only people that you can hide from are the people that don't know these things. So anyway, this is why I'm telling you. Here you go, okay? So Happy New Year. Law of inspired action. What is this? The law of inspired action. So the law of attraction draws things towards you, okay? The law of inspired action means when you get inspired thought, you need to act on it. Why? It's divine guidance. The law of inspired action. So you cannot wait for whatever. Okay, let's say you want a new car, and you go, okay, I'm gonna manifest a new car. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for it. Wait for it. Are you gonna get it? No. Why? Because you're not doing anything. You're not acting on anything. Okay? So let me explain the two types of action you can do to manifest or bring things into your world. Number one, you can speak it. You can think it. Number two, physical action. Okay, so thinking and speaking, physical action. It was like that VMAC meeting I had yesterday. I've been talking to Jay about it. I've been talking to Jay about it for a long time. I want to figure out how to get back in the physical world and this and that and this and that and whatever. And then boom, one meeting. Okay. So things happen with one decision sometimes. So what the law of inspired action is telling you is when you get that, okay, some people call it a hunch, some people recognize it as intuition. That's the superconscious. Conscious, subconscious, superconscious. The superconscious gives you that intuitive thought. You're driving down the street. Okay, here's if you've heard this 1,000 times. Okay, but this is what how I explain it. For the newbies, here we go. You driving down the street, you get that feeling. It's a feeling, a thought, inspired thought, inspiration that you should make that right turn over here at this street that you're approaching, and you have free will. Okay, so the ego always thinks it knows better. The left brain, okay, right hemisphere, left hemisphere of the brain. The ego lives on the left side. This is why Jesus sits at the right side. Okay, more about that later. But you're driving and you dismiss it. You go, nah, that's okay. I'll just go down to the next street. And guess what? You get stuck in the traffic jam. What do you say? Say, I knew I should have, right? Right? Because you did know. You did know. Now, women have sharp intuition. Very, very sharp intuition. Better than men. Sorry, guys, but they do. 22 years old. My shyness is ruining your social life. Do you have any advice for me? Yeah, you need confidence. That's all. You need confidence. Besame, are you a male or female? Let me know. So confidence means clarity. Okay, confidence is just clarity. You need to be clear. Something is holding you back. Anxiety, some kind of fear, negative emotion, some kind of negative emotion. Okay. So now when you act on inspired thought, when you trust that that idea that popped in your head is valid, is real, okay? You need to recognize that as the voice of God. God doesn't talk to you like humans talk. Trees talk. Trees communicate between each other through the roots with vibration. Okay? So they talk to each other, but they don't talk to each other like we talk to each other. Okay? Fish communicate through vibration. Okay? So this goes on and on and on and on through intelligent design. Everything in the universe is intelligent. Everything. Okay? Oh, you're female. Okay. So just know that females are very sensitive. Your brains, your frontal lobe is more developed than men. Late start. Oh, good morning, user. I remember you. And so your intuition, your sense of intuition is also stronger because you're engineered to be a mama bear. Okay, so you start thinking things, and human beings have what we call negativity bias, men and women. But because women are hardwired for survival and they're outfitted to be mama bears, your your senses are more heightened, okay, because you have to take care of children, because you have to watch babies. So what happens is you start overthinking. Okay, when you start overthinking, you get into your amygdala begins to put you into fight or flight. And when that happens, you start thinking about all the negative what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? Okay, but when you take away all of these things, affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization will do it. Okay, start out by writing, I am so happy and grateful now that I'm confident. Thank you. Okay, write it every morning and speak it out loud every evening. As you become confident, in about 2 weeks, you'll feel the shift. As you become confident, you will start to experience clarity. Okay, it's just a bunch of cloudy things in your head, negative emotions that cloud your thinking and make you not confident. That's all. It's not a big thing. Okay, and I'm not a psychic or anything like that. So this is just the way the human being is engineered to work. So anyway, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. What is, oh boy, what is that? That's a big term. Transmutation means to change form, to transmute. Okay? So the law of perpetual transmutation of energy says that energy can change form. Okay? But you can't extinguish energy. Einstein showed us that. You cannot, this energy in you is eternal. You can't get rid of this energy, but it can change form. Okay. Um, yeah, there you go. Thank you, Jay. Sure, you're very, very welcome. What country are you in? Are you in Nigeria? We have a lot of Nigerians on our account here. Um, anyway, so uh, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy means that you can take energy, negative energy, and you can turn it into positive energy. Okay? So, people always blame Satan, right? Religious people, Christians, okay? I'm a Christian. A lot of Christians that I know, when they blame Satan for it, oh, Satan did this or Satan did that. I have to watch out for Satan because Satan, whatever, right? No, it's your decisions, okay? Jesus lives in here. God lives in here. Satan lives in here too, okay? But you have to choose God. God is a choice. Jesus Christ is a choice. Allah is a choice. Okay? Whatever it is, it's a choice. You have a choice. No such thing as, oh, the devil's got a hold of me. And, sure, if you do things in repetition that constitute evil or perpetuate evil things, okay, bad things. So if you're involved in a gang, if you're involved in beating people up, if you're involved in stealing and all, okay, now your subconscious goes in a wash, rinse, repeat cycle in negativity. Okay, so at that point, when it's programmed like that, and you start repeating negative things, what happens? You start getting all these negative circumstances. Okay, so this is what you need to overcome, and this information is what you need to overcome it with. Okay, just understand that it's not rocket science. This is not something difficult to do. It's very easy to do. And this is why I'm here for you for free every morning, 1 hour. Okay, I can only handle so many people in my calendar. Okay, I don't even want to work that many days anymore. So I work when I want, I do what I want. And when I need something or when I desire something, I shouldn't say need, because when you say need and want, then you're implying lack, okay? But when you desire something or when I desire something, I just say, okay, I need this, I need that. And the clients come, the money comes to support it. Okay, I sign a contract, the money comes. I just ordered a new car. When the new car comes, I'm going to sign the contract, the money will come to support it. Why? Because I've practiced this. Because I've been doing this since 2007. Okay, and these are affirmations. This is not journaling. If you're journaling, you're not going to get the same results. Okay, so let's give you an example. I am so happy and grateful now that I am confident, because confidence is clarity. When you are clear, things happen better. Why? Because you make better decisions. because there's no fear, there's no anxiety, there's no overthinking, there's no irritation, there's no anger, there's no grief, guilt, or shame. Okay? When you're feeling emotions, okay, girls, listen. The majority of my clients are women, females. Okay? And the majority of my clients are what I call high performance professionals because I do executive coaching. Okay? So now, having said that, I have to tell you that when you start to clear and make better decisions, everything happens naturally. Everything. Okay? It takes just as long to corrupt this thing in here, okay, your brain, your subconscious, as it does to clear it up. Okay, let me show you how fast it is to acquire a habit. I use the cookies, okay? So cookie habit. You go to a party, ask, oh wow, can I try a cookie? Sure, yeah, help yourself. Try a cookie. You know, wow, that was really good. Can I have another? Yeah, go ahead, help yourself. All you want. Okay. Before the end of the party, the question comes up. Hey, where do you get these cookies? Oh, we get them at Costco. Ah, okay. In a couple of days, you're standing in line, holding the bag of cookies at Costco. Only you know, right? Okay? And you're standing there with the bag of cookies. You got a cookie habit. Okay? That's how fast a cookie habit can happen. Okay, what about a drug habit? Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Just as fast. How about a cigarette habit? Yeah, just as fast. Uh, how about positive thinking habit? Yeah, just as fast. Okay. I am so happy and grateful now that I think positive. Thank you. There you go. Write that. Write it every morning when your brain is in theta state, when you're relaxed. Every evening before you turn off the light, when your brain is in theta state, fully relaxed. Okay? In 2 weeks, you will start to feel the positivity. You just need to decide. That's all. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Okay? Depression is a choice. Anxiety is a choice. Okay, but anxiety, you get a lot of help with that. Okay, so this helps anxiety. This helps anxiety. It helps it. Okay, television helps anxiety. Movies helps anxiety. People that spend too much time in here develop anxiety. Why? Because they see things they shouldn't see, and then it makes them anxious. Why? Because there's some spooky stuff in here. Is it the work of the devil? No, it's not. Okay? But you cannot unsee things. It goes into your subconscious. Below. Okay? Below your conscious mind. You're not aware of it. But it's piling up in your subconscious. And then you go to a therapist to unscramble it, or fix it, or remedy it. You can remedy it. Because as you're doing damage over here, this is unintentional damage, and this is not a bad thing. Okay, your phone is not a bad thing. It's not a demon phone. It's not anything like that. It can be used for good or for bad, whatever. It's like a kitchen knife. You can use it to cut your vegetables, or you can use it to hurt somebody. Either way. Everything in life works that way. There's a good side and bad side to everything. You just need to choose the good side. Okay, I make money with these. Okay, I make a lot of money with these. I make all of my money with these. Okay, and my laptop and my iPad and, digital. So it helps me. Does it hurt me? Yeah, if I watch too much stuff, right? Do I have to detox from it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sometimes you just have to put it down. It's like the cookies. If you don't put down that bag of cookies, what happens? Oh, another 5 pounds, another 10 pounds. Put the bag of cookies down. That's it. Okay? Now, some people, you will hear some people go, wow, that's my latest obsession. I'm obsessed with that. Okay, now they're speaking it and reinforcing it into their subconscious. If they're excited about the statement, guess what? They're putting it in there with emotion. The key is emotion. Okay, manifestation. If you want to manifest something, put it in your subconscious with emotion. Anything, doesn't matter what it is. I love her. I love him. Emotion. Okay, I love these cookies. I love it. Okay, now if you want money, I love money. Okay, money loves me, but you have to feel it. Okay, now some people tell me, well, when I do this, I'm not really feeling this. I'm just saying this. Okay, then if that's your position, then do it with force. I love money. I love this. Okay, energy. Energy is synonymous with feeling. Think about it. Okay, energy. I teach 3-year-olds. Okay, three in one of my companies. It's called Voicemaster Vocal Development. You can look it up. It's a thing. Okay, we're the highest rated vocal uh, vocal development other places are vocal coaches. I'm a voice teacher. There's a difference. I can explain the physiology to you, but yeah. But we train singers at that company. In the life coaching company, we still do vocalization exercises because of the hormonal activation that it causes. But in the singing school, I teach 3-year-olds. 3-year-olds don't know feeling. If you tell a 3-year-old, sing with feeling, they kind of look at you like they don't know what you're talking about. Okay? Because they're 3. So I say, give Uncle more energy. They know energy and they sing strong. And guess what? The hormones start getting activated. And then guess what? They start clearing here. Okay? They get pulled into the moment. Okay, now a 3-year-old is still a busy thinker, and you can tell by watching them. They get into everything, they do everything, right? They talk all day long from when they're 2. Okay, so a 3-year-old is a busy thinker. But when you pull them into the moment like that for that half hour, I work with them for a half an hour. I get 3-year-olds to pay attention for a half hour. And this grandmother a few months ago told me, wow, we were really lucky that we found you because nobody takes little kids until they're 6 years old. And I had to get cocky and I said, well, because they don't know how to teach. They just don't know how to teach. Okay, teaching requires patience and repetition, but mostly patience. Now, a lot of people don't teach 3-year-olds because maybe they don't look at it like they're teachable. Maybe they don't understand how intelligent human beings are. Maybe they are just not patient. It could be any of those things. But if it's any of those things, they're not good teachers. I'm sorry. Okay? Plain and simple. If a teacher teaches you anything, okay, I'm talking about if you're in college, if you're taking a night course, if you're doing whatever, if you have a teacher that teaches you with negativity, saying, oh, you don't want to do this, don't do that, oh, that's wrong, not like that, okay, any of those things, get out of there. That's the wrong teacher. They're teaching from ego, okay? And the teachers that want to show you how smart they are, what do? What do they end up doing? They confuse you, okay? Because they're trying to show you how smart they are. They're trying to show you how good they are. They're trying to be up here and then you're over here and they make you feel like this. Is this conducive to education or learning? No, absolutely not. So my students and I, my clients and I, like this, okay? Transferring knowledge from me to them like that, okay? Just like you connect a hard drive, an external hard drive to your laptop or to your phone, it goes like that, okay? That's learning. That's productive. Why? Because you don't create walls and barriers, okay, in the people that you're trying to teach. If you say, no, not like that, no, don't do that, oh, that's wrong, not like that, whatever, okay? Now what you're doing is you're building walls, okay? And when they leave the session, or when they leave the classroom, or when they leave whatever the situation is, okay, now you see, and now they leave with more issues than they came in with. That's not teaching. If you have a teacher like that, find another teacher. You're not with the right teacher. Okay? Teachers need to be supportive. Teachers need to teach like this. Okay? It's a transfer of knowledge. Nobody's better than the other person. If teachers act better than you, that's because they think they're better than you. Get out of there. All right. Would removing social media apps for good help clear one's mind, or would it make the anxiety worse? It depends on how you look at it, sweetheart. Okay. So you can have the evil is not the social media app. Okay. That's not the problem. Okay. The problem is in here. Okay. You have to control it. Okay, you have to say, okay, well, enough is enough. Now, if you get too drawn into that, just know it's your subconscious, and your subconscious goes wash, rinse, repeat over and over and over and over. Okay? When you get obsessed, when you like the cookies, if you like the cookies, right? Oh man, I can't put these cookies down. And then what? Then you're back in Costco buying another bag. Oh, I can't put these down. And then you get, pretty soon you have type 2 diabetes. Pretty soon you're 300 pounds. Pretty soon. Okay. So you're headed for a bad eventuality. Moderation is key. Okay? Well, we're going to go on social media today for a little while. Okay, I'm going to put it down. I'm going to go spend time with the kids. Oh, I'm going to put it down, spend time with the family. Okay? Significant other. Like that. Okay, so we need to hurry so I can finish these 12 laws. 7. Law of cause and effect. Whatever you do is going to have a result. Okay, easy. Law of compensation. When you do things for others, okay, and I really want to emphasize this because humanity is at a point where everybody's becoming narcissistic in these things and not doing things for others. As a result, your world begins to dry up and you don't know why. You don't know why, okay? So let me explain. When you give, the law of compensation says you get rewarded for what you give. St. Catherine of Siena said, you will be rewarded, okay, for the measure of your giving. In other words, if you give a lot, you're going to get a lot in life. Life gives to the giver and takes from the taker. So if you're going to be the crab and you're going to just see what you can get, I'm seeing what I can get, and you're going to be like that, then don't be surprised if you only get a little. Okay, or here and there, that kind of thing. Okay, abundance is a mindset, but abundance requires giving because you want to open the channel, okay? You want to open the channel. Whatever you want, you need to do it first. You want love, give love first. You want money, give money first. You want toys, give toys first. You want fireworks, give fireworks first, whatever it is, okay? All right? But you need to open the channel. Why? Because when you open the channel, now you're experiencing abundance. When does abundance dry up? It doesn't dry up because you run out. You don't run out. You can forget to give. Okay? You can be so busy with something that you forget to give stuff. Okay? If you have clothes in your closet that you're not using, give it away. Give it. You don't have to sell it. Give it. If you give with a clean, open heart, and when I say clean, I mean without a condition. A clean heart, an open heart, a good heart. Just give. What happens? You get it back all day long. 365. Okay, 365 days a year. For some reason, I don't know why, my parents told me I always gave away my toys when I was a kid. And I remember doing that. But I did that because I felt sorry for the kids that came to play with me because they didn't have the kind of toys I had. And so I used to give away toys. Well, guess what? It's never stopped. And, I was just telling Jay, I have this pair of glasses that I didn't know was going to be so heavy. And I told her, you know what? The guy at the glasses, the optician told me, oh, you can just pop the regular lenses in and sell it on eBay. And I'm like, I don't normally sell, I give. And they're $1,300 glasses. I mean, with the prescription and everything, it was more, but yeah. But I'm just saying, I'll probably end up giving them away one day. But anyway, the point is start giving, okay? And the more you give, the more you will receive. If you don't have a lot to give pennies. If you have pennies, give pennies away. Give them to kids. Kids love pennies. They're not going to judge you, okay? Whatever it is, give. All right, law of compensation, law of relativity. Law of relativity, what is it? Everything is relative, okay? But it's relative to its situation. Look at the situation, it'll explain itself, okay? Everything should be reviewed in context. Everything should be put into context. If it's out of context, it's not going to match whatever it is that's supposed to be relevant, okay? All right, so let's go to the next universal law. We're doing universal laws. We're on 10 of 12. Law of polarity. What does that mean? Everything has an opposite. Polar opposites. Okay, good, bad, dark, light. Everything has an opposite. Okay, what opposes the light? The dark. Do people go into the dark? Oh yeah, all the time. Back and forth. Windshield wiper, back and forth. Dark, light, dark, light. Dark, bad circumstances. Light, good circumstances. Okay, I had a client earlier this year. She just got a little too dark. Okay, her world got a little too dark. Okay, but it's the subconscious. Okay, her subconscious pulled her in the dark. She was doing dark things. And then she had an accident. Okay, so these things happen when you do dark things. Your subconscious repeats. Okay, and the darker you get, and pretty soon something happens. There's only 3 levels to negativity. 3 levels. You could end up on the street. Below that, there's prison. Below that, there's the graveyard. That's it. You're done. You're gone. Okay. Sons of God Ministry. I love you guys. I love you guys. So they tell the truth. Sons of God Ministry, by the way. Yeah, Christians, Sons of God Ministry. Check them out. So anyway, the law of relativity, the law of polarity, everything has it opposite. So once you get down the graveyard, you're done. You're finished. The game is over, and you're out of the game. Positivity, on the other hand, okay, the positive, the good, okay, God, all those good things, okay, is there a limit? Well, let's check it out. Is there a limit to the amount of money you can make? No. Is there a limit to the amount of friends you can have? No. Is there a limit to the amount of love you can give? Nope. Is there a limit to the amount of houses you can buy? No. You see? Abundance. Okay, this is God's gift to you. You were born in God's love, God's energy. Okay? And then life happens. And then you go like this. Dark light, dark light, dark light. Okay? When it gets too dark, you're going to reach for the light. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. He was illustrating something. He was showing you something. He sits at the right hand of the Father for a reason. It's the right hemisphere of the brain. Okay? That's where God lives. In your right hemisphere, not the left. Okay? All right. So, law of rhythm. What is that? Everything has a rhythm in the universe. Okay? The universal law of rhythm. Everything has a rhythm in the universe. So, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means money doesn't come all the time. Good feelings don't happen all the time, right? Just think if you were excited all the time. They give people medicine for that, okay? Just think what would happen if you're depressed all the time. They give people medicine for that. Just Guess what would happen if you had money coming in all the time? You may think it's a good thing, but even then, you're out of balance. Okay, so the law of rhythm, what does it teach us? Everything happens in cycles. Okay, money comes in, money goes out. Bills come in, bills get paid, right? You go to work, you come home. Everything is in rhythm. Now, when you observe your rhythm, you are a human being, so you can observe yourself. You can observe your rhythm. Pay attention to your rhythm. You want to be really good at manifesting? Okay, like I did yesterday. I was like, okay. And I went into the meeting with an open mind. Minds only work well when they're open, okay? Like a parachute. When it's closed, it don't work right. Parachutes are fatal when that happens. Okay, so, right, I'm just trying to entertain you guys. I used to do comedy. That's one of the things I did simultaneously with everything else. So, right, now, the other thing is when I went in, I was like, okay, I was open, open. And then everything went boom, 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 boom. By the end of the meeting, I'm like, well, I have a lot of work to do in January. Okay. So it can happen the same way for you, but you have to design your life. Okay, let's illustrate it again. You have to this is designing your life because this is giving instructions to your subconscious. You have to design your life. What do you want? Oh, I want a car. What kind of car you want? Well, I want a blue Toyota. Okay. I am so happy and grateful now that I have a blue Toyota. And then describe it. Hatchback, four-door, whatever. Write it out. Okay? And then put thank you. Express gratitude at the end. Okay. Law of rhythm says that you pay attention to your rhythm. When you pay attention to your rhythm, you know when money's going out. When money's going out, are you going to be sad? Okay. If you do that, you're helping money leave. If you're sad, if you're worried, if you start getting, fearful, you start pushing money and good opportunities out. Okay? When money slows down, I know this sounds crazy. When money slows down, I want you to get excited. I want you to watch comedies. I want you to be happy. I want you to be thrilled. Not because money's going out, but I want you to be cheerful and watch how fast money comes back. And you're going to see, if you created a sine wave, you're going to see that sine wave get smaller. Okay, rhythm happens no matter what. But the time that money goes down is going to be shorter. Why? Because as soon as money's on its way down and you start getting happy and you can start getting happy, it's going to turn around and go back up again. Okay? You are talking about my current situation. It is so true. Yes, 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 yes. It is very true. Okay, so you're going to shorten that time when there's slow times. There's always going to be slow times. There's supposed to be slow times. Okay, if you're in a car and you don't have brakes and you're floorboarding it, you're going to get in an accident very quick. Same thing with human beings, okay? But we have the intelligence to observe our rhythm and be aware. If you guys are walking around in a trance, okay, most people are, okay, so you just have to enjoy this moment of clarity. Because when I give you the clues, you'll go, oh yeah, that's right, this is happening. And then you can do something about it. If you're not aware, it sounds like I'm crazy. It sounds like I'm rambling. It sounds like I don't make any sense at all. But those of you that know, know. Those of you that don't know, you can talk to me. You can message me. I will let you know. I will explain. All right, so the last one, the law of gender, and it's 1 minute before the end of our live. Yay, we made it. All right, the law of gender. Okay, this law refers to the balance of masculine and feminine. That's all. Masculine and feminine energy. We have it in everyone. Everyone has it, okay? So women, you are very uncomfortable if you're living in your masculine all the time, okay? Balance, okay? Law of rhythm, okay? Sometimes you have to exercise your masculine energy. Men, sometimes you have to be gentle, especially with children, okay? You can't be all, masculine all the time. Now, that being said, there is a balance, okay? But you need to be gentle with the little ones, Okay, you can't be the tough guy all the time. Okay, balance is key. Okay, and that goes back to the law of rhythm. Find your rhythm between masculine, feminine. Okay, everybody has both. Okay, Bella, thank you, Bella. Thank you so much, Bella. Anyway, we're gonna discuss this more tomorrow. Tomorrow's New Year's. I'll be here. I'm not taking a day off. We've been doing this since April. I missed one day. Okay, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that I have, at least opened some minds. Okay, do your research. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. You believe as you wish. Okay, but however you believe, you need to start seeing the human being as this blessing that you are given from God. Whatever you believe God to be, whatever you believe, if you don't believe in God, okay. If you believe in higher self, okay. If you believe in yourself, that's even better. Okay, because the energy is in here. Go in the bathroom, turn on the light, look in the mirror, and see your miracle. Okay, I'm Junior Kekuewa Jr. from Here For You Life Coaching. It's hereforyoulifecoaching.com. There's no sales pitch.